what's up guys? How's it going? Happy New Year. Happy 2023. Welcome to my best of 2022 list, top 15 films of the year. You know how it goes. Each year I like to rank as well as give out the best of each genre for each film. This was a fantastic year for movies. Looking back, there were so many good ones and I am just really excited to talk to you about them real quick today, as well as talk about a few honorable mentions. So let's go ahead and talk about those right now. Bullet Train was one of the most fun films I got to see this year. I was really not intrigued by the trailers, to be honest, but once I got to see it, I loved Brad Pitt and everyone else in this role. The action scenes and choreography, as well as the humor, were all very well done, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this one again with a group of friends. Violent Night was one of the most funny, I guess, horror comedies and Christmas films that I've seen ever. It was Die Hard meets Home Alone with David Harbour as Santa Claus himself in absolute perfect casting. It was just a great time and I'm really happy this movie delivered exactly what I was hoping to get out of it. Dog was a surprisingly enjoyable film with Channing Tatum in the lead role delivering a great performance, and I really enjoyed this man's best friend journey. It has surprising emotional depth to it, and just overall, it had a lot to it that really stood out for me. DC League of Super Pets was also a very surprising film that came out this year that I wasn't that intrigued to check out, but once I saw it, I realized there was a lot to like here. Especially if you're a fan of DC comics and superheroes, this movie pokes fun at all of that in the best way. Pretty much all ages can enjoy this, but again, it also delivers on great action and animation and story. It was just a lot of fun. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was everything I wanted out of a Sam Raimi Marvel film. I really enjoyed that it had sort of a horror vibe throughout the movie, which is something we don't generally see in Marvel films. And some of the special effects, especially near the end, were just really incredible. And I can't ever forget that Bruce Campbell cameo. The Bad Guys was a really surprisingly fun animated film as well, on the complete opposite spectrum. I really enjoyed and was intrigued by the premise from the beginning. All the characters and cast did such a great job, and I really liked the animation style in this one. This one was a lot of fun, and I really think you guys should give it a chance if you haven't seen it. Pompo the Cinéphile was a really enjoyable film that shows you kind of the inner workings behind getting a movie made. I really enjoyed this story about this young man who wants to learn the ins and outs of the film industry, as well as a lot of the kind of meta humor and things that they are able to pull off. It is just simply a very enjoyable film for people like me, another fellow cinephile. The Black Phone was one of the best horror films this year. There were so many great things about this movie. I really enjoyed Ethan Hawke's performance and the fact that he reunited with director Scott Derrickson. The look of this film was really cool, the 70s vibe, all the performances from everyone involved, and really at its core, the story and the writing really delivered the most. Elvis was a big, flashy biopic from none other than Baz Luhrmann himself. The over-the-top direction is on full display here, and Austin Butler's performance was absolutely amazing. I'm sure he is more than likely going to end up winning the Oscar this year, or at least has a very strong chance. The unbearable weight of massive talent was everything Nicolas Cage fans ever wanted wrapped up into one movie, as well as the addition of actors such as Pedro Pascal and Tiffany Haddish and others who all made this a very enjoyable film. There's so many fun references and little things that people will get, especially if you've seen any of Nick Cage's films. But overall, the movie itself is just really well made. I hope we get to see more films like this in the future. It was a blast. Alright guys, that's it for the honorable mentions. Let's go ahead and move on to our top 15 list. This was a tough list to make this year, but I made it through and was able to get it done. So let's go ahead and check them out. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was an incredible film for the fact that it was just simply a beautiful tribute to the late Chadwick Boseman. This added an emotional layer and drama to the film that I don't think I've ever quite seen in a Marvel movie, or really any movie, with the fact that they had this weight that they just had to get off and find a way to deliver a compelling story at the same time. The performances were fantastic, everyone in the film did an amazing job, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where they decide to take this character in the future.
You will never find true happiness, so you can truly accept who you are. Thank you.
Weird, the Al Yankovic story, was just an amazing biography. And I love the fact that it wasn't really a true biography to the fullest extent. It had a lot of parody, such as what Weird Al Yankovic himself is known for, a majority of his songs being parodies. Daniel Radcliffe was perfect casting in this role, but there were so many people who show up and things that happen. All the beats of this film just really fully delivered for me. Definitely one of the most fun movies to come out this year, so you absolutely need to check it out.
But truth is, I'm not really a good person.
Pearl was one of the best horror films that came out this year, and I absolutely adore the fact that this was a surprise prequel to another movie, X, which I didn't even know I truly wanted. This film felt like a Hitchcockian suspense thriller and gave us one of the best performances of the year from Mia Goth, who is an absolute star in the making. I just know she's going to get snubbed for an Oscar nomination this year, which is a huge mistake, but that's just the way things are in Hollywood sometimes. Guys, if you haven't seen this film or X yet, it will make for a very fun double feature.
Are you all right?
No.
X had one of the most intriguing mysteries that involved a film that on paper felt like it was going to be kind of a strange, like, adult film. And then you find out what's really going on and it becomes a very cool 70s slasher. Everything about this film was really intriguing to me. I love the fact that Ty West was able to create this film and then surprise us with a prequel in Pearl. And now we're getting a trilogy with Maxine coming out. All the performances, including Mia Goth, Jenna Ortega, and everyone else did such a fantastic job. And the film itself was really well done.
Strong heart.
Avatar: The Way of Water took us on the best adventure this year. It was, 13 years in the making for James Cameron's sequel, and it delivered pretty much every way it could. It was better overall than the first film. The visuals were better, the story, the direction. It really pretty much did everything I think it could have done. I did enjoy seeing it in 3D, but I'm also looking forward to seeing it again, comparing the different ways this film can be presented. And I can honestly say now that I'm really looking forward to seeing how the rest of this franchise plays out, especially since it looks like we'll get another movie within the next year or two.
Any questions?
Is this bergamot I'm getting, Chef?
Yes, it is.
The Menu was the best comedy, or should I say dark comedy, that came out this year. All the performances were incredible. Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicholas Hoult, everyone did an amazing job. But I think what really stood out was the humor and the writing, and the fact that this also put me on the edge of my seat the entire time. And I'm really hoping more people get a chance to see it.
思う存分呪い合おうじゃないか。来い、でか！
Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie, was a very intriguing prequel to an already established anime series in Jujutsu Kaisen. And this is coming from someone who has only seen a few episodes of the anime series, so I enjoyed this so much. The animation was so cool. I definitely think this makes for a good starter for one of you who might be looking to get into anime more, or just this series in general, but you want to start with the movie first. I think that you could totally do that.
All they want is to let the world know they were here.
I know it feels weird to say this, but Inu-oh was the best musical of the year, simply by the fact that the entire movie is driven by the music and the characters and the fact that the story is interwoven into the songs. I love the journey that our central characters go on. Of course, I really enjoy Masaki Yuasa, his distinct animation style and the way he depicts his characters. If you're a fan of his other works, such as The Night is Short, Walk on Girl, this film is right up your alley. Plus, it's just a very good time.
Pleasurable experience. This is perfectly natural.
Barbarian was the best thriller to come out this year. It absolutely surprised me with its twists and turns. The performances by Georgina Campbell and Bill Skarsgård were incredible. Oh, and Justin Long. Yes, he's in this movie too. I can't give you much more. This is a great film to go in blind on. I really like how it's structured, and honestly, I just wanted more by the end of it. Batman was the best crime film to come out this year, which was really cool in the fact that this is itself a superhero movie, but it feels more like a film such as Seven in its gritty, grimy, detective investigation storyline. Robert Pattinson was fantastic as Batman, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this film again, but I'm also seeing where they decide to take this direction of the character. The action sequences, the direction, the story, a lot of this film was just everything I really would have wanted from a Batman movie. And that's really all I could have asked for. Belle had the best music of the year, and I love the fact that in the original Japanese version we got the songs, but we also got an English version of the songs too. And this is truly a film where both versions go neck and neck. It's really all up to personal preference. The animation is incredible. I thought the story was really interesting. I love the tribute to films such as Beauty and the Beast and all the different animation studios that were involved in this film. It felt like a really cool collaborative project. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where director Mamoru Hosoda goes from here. Nope was the best sci-fi to come out this year and one of Jordan Peele's most distinct films so far. I love that you truly never know what you're going to get from him, even though there are certain elements that you can always look at and be like, yes, that's a Jordan Peele film. It's one of those cases where he always does something very different, and for me, he delivers every time. I've seen this film the most compared to every single other film on this list, and I do think there are different elements you can take away and learn and find out every single time you watch it. I really enjoyed where the story went, all the performances, and I really can't wait to see what he does next. I just really hope we get to see more and more from him. The Northman had some of the best historical elements from a film, especially in a Viking world, that I've ever seen. I felt so immersed in this world because of how much they put into it. I think it's probably Robert Eggers' best film. At least it's the most easy to start with. But the performances, the action, just the overall rawness of it, it was just a bloody revenge, this dark world that I just loved every minute of it. I think Alexander Skarsgård, Anya Taylor-Joy, Willem Dafoe, everyone else involved did a fantastic job. This is one of those that when you're in the right mood, it really delivers. All right, guys, we're down to the last two, and I'll be honest, this was the hardest top two to decide on ever. Both of these films I absolutely love, and any day could be, one of them could be number one and the other could be number one. But for now, we have to pick one, so here we go.
Don't let anything distract you from it.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was the best fantasy film that came out this year. And to be honest, that is just not enough to say about it. It pretty much covers every genre. Michelle Yeoh and everyone else in this movie did an amazing job. I just couldn't believe the two directors, the Daniels, were able to even create this movie. There's so much creativity on screen, and it just blew me away scene after scene. It's hilarious, it's heartfelt, there's drama, there's intrigue, great action sequences, and this movie really makes you think about life and all sorts of other things. I could go on and on and on about this film, and I'm really excited to see where it goes in the award season. But alas, we can only have one number one film this year, and I had to give it just barely to another film.
Having any fun yet?
Top Gun Maverick was just an incredible experience from top to bottom. Of course, the action was amazing, but that is what everyone was expecting. The fact they were able to make a sequel to a movie that came out 36 years ago and not only improve upon it in pretty much every aspect, but give it the amount of depth, emotional elements, the characters, the practical effects that they were able to use, the realisticness of the action itself and the stunt work was just amazing. And then to tie it all together, you have great writing, great performances, cinematography, score. Like, this film truly had it all, and it did such an amazing job at the box office. It pretty much saved theaters. If it wasn't for Top Gun Maverick this year, I'd be a lot more concerned about where theaters were going. It's amazing that it performed so well and lasted so long. If you've been sleeping on this film, you absolutely need to give it a chance. It is just a fantastic movie all around. And there you have it, guys. There's my top 15 best films of the year. Looking back on this year, I couldn't believe we got so many great films. And there's tons I still haven't seen yet. So if you're wondering where this is, where that is, maybe I never got around to seeing it, but I am looking forward to checking it out soon, especially with award seasons coming up. With that, you guys, I hope you're all doing well, and I wish you the best in 2023. I hope it brings you everything you want out of it. I'm excited to announce I'll be doing a podcast soon, so look forward to that. Of course, I'm hoping, as always, to be more consistent. We'll see if I am able to pull out a couple more videos a year. But with that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. As always, my name is Dylan, and if you love entertainment, subscribe to my channel while this video ends and send me a thumbs up before you go. Thanks for watching, and stay diligent.